Good morning. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to February 1st. This is the first day of what is considered in the Western mindset Black History Month. It's my personal feeling that every month is Black History Month. There is, because of my study and the work that I have done, I absolutely understand that everything in this country, everything in the West is rooted in the fact that Black people gave more than 100 years of free labor in this country. And free labor is an, an, an incredibly valuable thing that has created this world the way that it is. It's the free labor that has allowed America to become, a leading country in the world because of the free labor that we gave so um, generously, in service to like you, I've had to really shift my narrative around what took place. I've been studying this stuff since I was 3 years old. Like, I literally have been reading history books about our contributions to this country since I was a very young child. And this work is not about us knowing, like, Black people created this or we created everything. I don't give a fuck about that. We created all of it. It's all our shit. It all comes from us at some level, even if it's just that we created an environment for people to be able to rest and receive downloads to create new things because they weren't having to work and struggle to make a living. So we are the foundation of this country in every way. And the thing that I want to um, offer through this month is that we begin to look at how we participate in ways that actually drains our energy and our resource. And so that requires us looking at ourselves in a deep way. That requires us, letting go of the victim narratives, because the victim narratives keep us stuck in a in a circle of seeking but never finding. So one of the things that's really significant about the experience of being Black is that before America existed and this system of racism existed, we were not Black people, just for clarity. We were not called Black people. This system was based in racism. So the Black and white thing creates a polarity that creates an energetic pull because there is this resistance in that polarity of Black and white. And the work, as I see it, is to begin to redefine what it means to be a Black person, or begin to let go of that identity, because that identity is deeply associated and entrenched in the racism that this country propagates, the systems are built upon. And so as long as we mentally identify with it, and let me just say, as Black people, we are really creative. Like, we took the N word and made it something different. Possibly, but maybe we didn't. Maybe that's just the way the um we embody the system by taking something that was meant for harm and giving it a new energetic. But I don't feel like, I personally don't think that that's what we've really done, honestly, because when you think of how that word is used in hip hop, and it's a demeaning word. It's because of the energetic. Like, I love the creativity of hip hop and the power that it has given this sort of hyper masculine way of being, but that's not totally inclusive of the Black experience, because we are magical and feminine, and that overly hyper expression was in resistance or in response to a time that we were being profoundly oppressed in this country. So when we are functioning in reaction to this establishment, it's not really ours, it's still theirs. We don't really own it, right? And so this is why we want to come in and begin to ask the deeper questions. What's really motivating? What's really happening here? What am I really a part of? So one of the things that I have 3 red candles. 3 is a sacred number. I have frankincense from Egypt that is burning to bring in the sacred energy. And today is a Mars day, and um, Mars is about embodiment. It's literally how we embody these experiences. So we want to begin to ask ourselves personally with a journal, how am I embodying racism? In what ways have I embodied and participate in the establishment that is racism and whiteness, right? And so one of the things, how I look at that, it's like, oh, I actually might believe that white people are have power, or that white people are benefiting from something that I'm not benefiting from. Like how do I mentally participate in the stories? So you have to listen to the stories you're telling yourself about the world, of the country. Listen to the stories that you tell yourself about whiteness and racism. And the stories that we tell ourselves are the ways that we um, mentally integrate ourselves into these ways of being. Because it's important to know that perspective is the winning element here all the time. Perspective always wins. And when I first started doing my ancestral work and really sitting with my ancestors came to me, and my ancestors are many of our ancestors, just so we know. I'm not just talking about my grandmother, my mother, and all that. I'm talking about back, right? And the ancestors said to me that they did this, like they came here to build this country, even though the narratives that were told, the stories that are told about what they came here to do are against them. They came here understanding in a deep spiritual way what they were up to. And because they experienced such supreme oppression, energy never dies, it doesn't go anywhere. So within us is the energetics of the power that was passed down from one generation to the next. We have the embodiment of the power, the energy, the magic, the force, the fuel, the, like I said, the energy to actually create a new reality, because the oppressive energy, it's like that of a diamond, right? If you put a diamond, a coal that is a diamond, under profound pressure, it becomes really strong, it becomes really unique, it becomes profoundly powerful. So we truly are, because we have been experiencing this deep oppressive energy within us, is this power that is ours to access, but we've got to transform our mindset to access it. Because what happens is, because we have melanin, and if we are in stories that say, white people are this, or white people are that, or this country is this, which are accurate stories, I'm not saying that, but the question always is, how can this benefit me? How can I use this experience to actually benefit me? And if you are willing to see it from another perspective, remember I said perspective always wins. If you're willing to see it from another perspective, then you can actually begin to reap the benefits of the energy. and the power that is available within it. So, on the first day of the month, which is what, like I said, what they consider Black History Month, every day is Black History Month to me. Every day is Black History Day because we are the creators of the foundation of this country, which has allowed it to flourish in the way that it has. And so on this day, we want to look at the ways that we have historically embodied the narratives, right? So some things that we might see, like for me, it's like if I'm around a lot of white people, I energetically feel kind of unsafe. I'll feel unsafe. I'll feel nauseous. I feel like I'm being judged. I feel, and that's the way I have embodied the narrative because I can feel the energy. I can feel me holding myself like, and it's important to know that these are ancestral patterns that live in our DNA. What we feel is often something that we have inherited from the generations before, right? So though we are not, and this is we pass down trauma from one generation to the next. So what you're feeling about white people or the system is something that actually isn't yours. You inherited it from your great grandparents and parents and all of that, the stories, because we are the first generation that has the information and the tools and the resources to actually begin to heal ourselves. And we are outside of this 400-year contract. Like I said, it was a contract. Um, and and so because we're outside of this energetic, it's our responsibility to free ourselves from it. We cannot, they're not going to come to us and be like, okay, you can go now. It's done. No, because it, everything in this universe is elemental, right? And if we were going to give white people an element, I would say that the element that they embody is fire. And if we were going to give Black people an element, I would say that the element that we embody is water. And so if we can really move into the understanding, because water is spirit, water and spirit go hand in hand. That's why we are deeply spiritual people, because we resonate to the energy and the flow within, right? And so we want to begin to really harness the energetic of water inside of us, because the water does what? It puts out fire. Water is the strongest of all the elements. It is the power that all of the elements have to succumb to. Earth has to succumb to water. Air succumbs to water. Fire succumbs to water. And water transitions, it changes form and shape and all of that. And so, if you are willing to do water rituals, literally, you can just every day give thanks for the water and give thanks for the water's ability to put out the fire, to stop the heat, to literally transmute your life. Like these, because after the ancient people who we come from, they are people who read the symbols and the signs. The language that we have embodied as English actually is in a detriment to us. The English language actually traps us in the cycles and does not allow us to actually move forward. So, what we want to do is, right, we don't want to give our focus there. We want to give our focus to the power that is within us, the energy that is within us. We want to stop creating the narratives that have us be in reaction to this system and begin to cultivate who you are. So, one of the things you can do is ask, what is the benefit? Why am I here in this country? And what is the benefit of it? Because it's important to know that everything in the universe is serving something. Your soul came here in service to something. This is not a mistake. There are no mistakes. So you want to ask yourself, what does my experience in this country, how does it serve me? And first, how have I been embodying these systems that actually is to my detriment, right? How do I embody these systems and journal about it? Write it down. Like just ask the questions, right? Create an ancestral altar, get some candles, some pictures of your ancestors, some water, some a plant, things that remind you of your ancestors, and begin every day during this month to ask the deeper questions, to query yourself so that you can access deeper freedom, because that's what this is about. This is about freedom. Why? Because we're moving into the age of Aquarius, and the age of Aquarius says that our individuality is our power, right? So you've got to really do the work to access your individuality and how you particularly participate in this system that is vampiric, that is draining, that is traumatizing and terrorizing. How is it that we are doing it at the deepest cell level? Whew. And so, because we are in the new moon in Aquarius, this is an opportunity for us to witness the things that come up and do ritual to clear them, right? So, whatever comes up that you are participating in, I encourage you to then write it down and burn it. Take it and burn it and release it for it to, because here's the thing, you want to use the fire because your intention with the fire is to actually dominate the fire. You're bringing your energy and your intention to the fire, and you literally you're holding the space of your own personal freedom from the systems, from the practices, from the thought forms, from the ways of being that have entrapped us in a mindset that would have us believe that others have power over us. And I want to say that sometimes, because this is it can be hard to access because there's so much trauma in place. And for me, when it's hard to access, I go all the way in. I literally will go into, what does it feel like to not own myself? What does it feel like to actually not have dominion over my own body? I will embody that energy so that I can feel it, and then I can begin to do the work that transmutes it. That's what we're going to do. We need to go into it and feel it, and then allow it to move through your system with breath and ritual. You can get into the bath and feel it and cry and allow and pray to your ancestors and ask for guidance, and go out and spend time in nature and take things to nature. Like I will go. You need to talk to me. That's sweet. I will go to nature. I will go to the trees and ask for support. I will ask the tree kingdom to help me. I will ask to help me free myself. Help me release, let myself go from things that are no longer in service to my well-being. And so for the entire month, whatever you need to do, whatever comes up that will lead you to a greater sense of sovereignty, empowerment, self-love, self-acceptance is what it is that you get to do. And today we are working with the Mars energy, and that energy is about embodiment. Pluto is in the mix today. So let me tell you so Mars is in a square with Chiron today. Because Mars is in a square with Chiron, that means we have the energy present to heal. This is about healing ourselves. Mars is our embodiment. Chiron is the wounded healer. And so literally you get to ask, what is it that I can use to heal my energy? What can I use to heal these thought patterns, these ways of being? So that's one thing that Mars is doing. So we know that we're going to have healing energy present with us through the entire month because Mars is in a square with Chiron. The other thing that's happening with Mars is that Mars is in a sextile with Jupiter. So Mars in a sextile with Jupiter is an energy that works together, right? And Jupiter is in Pisces, and that's water energy, right? So literally, you get to use your imagination. Imagine yourself in the fulfillment of your power. Imagine, feel it. What does it feel like to be really aligned with power? the power to free yourself, the power to create your life as you desire, the power to free yourself from systems and ways of being, the education system, the healthcare system, the medical system, the power to free yourself from these systems which have been extracting our energy from us through fear and confusion and not knowing who we are. You want to be and then when you get some direction, you want to imagine yourself. Imagine, because Pisces is the imagination, it's the subconscious, right? And so you can go in your dream states, like before you go to bed at night, you can write in your journal, what is it that I need to know about my freedom? What is it that I need to know? Because the energy, you will be told and directed in your dreams. So you put a journal near your bed, and every night ask, what is it that I need to, what do my dreams have to offer me about my freedom and my power as a melanated being? And then lastly, the thing that's very significant, because it's important for us to know that whiteness is a construct that is made up. It is not real. I've said this before, I will probably say it every day. It is not real. So the people who identify themselves as white, they are participating in a construct and a lie that actually is against nature. So you just want to understand that. And people get to choose whatever they want. It's totally cool. Whatever, it's all good. But you are making a choice to extract yourself from the mentality that has in subtle ways, unconscious ways, subconscious ways supported this system that has allowed white people to come in and extract resources and take and harm and pillage the world. But we are going to, because we are the people that built it, we actually have been supporting it unconsciously. And so we want to begin to take our energy back so that we can free ourselves and begin to dissolve our relationship to it. We're dissolving our relationship to it. And today, Mars, how are you embodying these systems in ways that are harmful or not in alignment with your highest and best? And how can you shift the energy? Yes, Caucasian, that is a better word. Absolutely. Or, Irish, English, Italian. Those are actually, that's true. Like where they are from in Europe. Europeans is a better language. Um, because literally, when they came to this country, they were given land and all sorts of things to start. Why? Because we were building the country for free. So when they came, they could give them land and all sorts of things to actually start crops and all sorts of um, resources to build their lives, so that they have a lot of material resource now. But what we have to understand is that nobody owns the earth. Nobody does. Nobody does. And even if we hold this idea that we own, if the earth decided to spit us all out, every contract or lease or all that shit will go away, because the earth is the dominant force here. So nobody owns this stuff. And the way we participate in it is what we want to begin to release ourselves from. All right, you all. Let me say, this new moon energy is very deep and intense. I'm actually exhausted. I'm tired. And so I'm actually going to go rest before I have clients today. I encourage you to share the video if it speaks to you. Share it with other people who are intending to free themselves from the system and the mindset that keeps us trapped. And I will be here again tomorrow, and we will have another conversation about the ways that we are participating. I encourage you to be present with the ritual. This is, like, don't force yourself into anything. If it doesn't make sense to you, that's okay. Just be with it. Just know that it'll come. You'll feel it when you need to. And with that in mind, I love you all so very much. I am really grateful that we get to be here to do this work together, because we are healing the world when we heal ourselves. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.